Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Dominator GTT in Grand Theft Auto Online. This car is on sale this week, so I figured I would give it another customization, because the last time that I customized this was probably when the Tuners DLC came out, so it's been quite a while, and I figured it was probably time to do another customization on the car anyways. So we're going to go ahead and hop in the auto shop here. As you guys can see, we're actually doing this customization in my auto shop garage, so it's something new and different. Of course, we're starting off with the armor. We're going to go all the way up on that, the brakes as well for sure. For the bumpers, we do have a few different little front bumper options here. I don't really like the chrome, so we're actually going to go for the primary front bumper on this thing. For the rear bumper, we can also go for the primary, or we can go for the secondary. I kind of like the smooth bumper, I think, but at the same time, I do kind of like the detail of the regular rear bumper, so we'll just paint it. For the engine block, we can change this up quite a bit. I think that I probably want to go for the secondary ribbed valve covers. I do think that that is probably going to look cool, so we'll do that. For the air filter on the engine, we can make this thing look pretty modern. That is kind of cool, actually. You know what? I think we'll go for the secondary V8 air intake system. I do think that that's pretty cool looking. For the strut brace, I want to go for the titanium one. We'll go for the wide titanium. I do like that look. For the engine upgrade, obviously we're going to max that out, and for the intercooler, of course, we can change this up. Let's go for the twin fans on that. I think that's pretty cool. So we've done that. Now we got to go to the exhaust and see what we can do to the exhaust. We can put side exits on this thing if we want to. I do kind of think that the big bore exhaust looks a little better, but the chrome tip is my favorite, so we're going to go for that one. For the fenders, we have primary over fenders that we can add to this car. Not a big fan of any of the fender options on this thing, so actually we're just going to leave them off of the car. I feel like the wheels match up with the regular fenders a little bit better, so we're just going to leave that. For the grille, of course, we can go for the hood badge delete, so remove where it says Dominator. We can go for a grill delete as well, or a badge and grill delete. I do kind of like the look of it with just stock, honestly, so I think we're going to leave it stock. Headlight covers, of course, we can put these on this thing if we want to. I'm not a big fan of them though, so we're just going to leave them off the car. For the hood, we can add some hood catches onto this thing. I don't mind the look of the angled hood catches, so we'll go for those ones, I think. Or maybe we should go for the race hood pins. You know what, actually I think I'm going to go clean on this car. I don't really want hood pins. Let's actually leave those alone. Now we can add the vented hood onto this car. It's really hard to see with all that white going on right now. We also have the carbon version of that. We got the small cowl hood as well. I do kind of like the look of that. The primary large cowl as well. We have that. The drag hood as well. Oh, that's kind of cool. We also have the Sabre turbo hood. That's interesting. I do like the Sabre turbo hood. We're going to go for that one. I think that's a pretty unique look. So we'll do that. For the interior, we can change up the seats if we want to. Honestly, I like the stock seats, so I think I'm going to keep them. For the steering wheel, though, we are going to go for the Rally Clubman. I do like that steering wheel a lot. For the cage, I don't really want to add a cage into this car. I'm not a big fan of roll cages, so we'll just leave it clean. We'll just leave that out of the vehicle. Xenon for the lights, though, we got to do that, obviously. Now, for the livery, we can add white double stripes or black double stripes. We got the white performance stripes or the black performance stripes as well. I do like the black performance stripes. I think those look pretty good. Got the black street stripes, the black racing stripes as well, the barn finder beater, the past its prime, the tin worm time machine. Okay, got the vintage racer livery here. We got the old school oval, which I don't have unlocked. The resto mod racer, we also have that. The flame on, the patriot, 70s street machine, and back to none. So I think what I'm going to do for the livery is go for the black performance stripes. I do like that look, so we'll do that. We can add louvers onto this car as well. I'm not a big fan of how they actually look though, so I think that I'm actually going to leave them off of the car. For the plate, we are going to go yellow and black though, of course. For the respray, we got to change this up so we can actually see what's going on this car. The lighting is almost too good in the auto shop here, so it's kind of annoying. What color do we want to go for on the Dominator GTT here? I'm not really sure. It does look kind of good in an orange. It also could look, yeah, it looks really good in a yellow. Dew yellow, which is what I went for on my last customization, I believe. It also looks pretty good. We could go for olive green, which is really nice looking in my opinion. I've been doing a lot of olive green recently though, so I think I'll avoid that. As far as the color goes, oh man, I don't know, maybe blue? I don't know, I feel like blue's really basic though, you know what I mean? Not a big fan of the blue. White looks okay. What if we go into some of the metals? I feel like this thing would look pretty cool in like a brushed black steel, but no, it doesn't look that good, honestly. Could do the crew color for a really vibrant red. I do like the look of it, honestly. It's not bad, but I don't think that I like it enough to actually put it on the car. We could go for like a silver of some sort too. Maybe rolled steel, actually. Let's go rolled steel on this car, why not? For the secondary color, I want to go for something a little more exciting looking, so I think I might go for an ultra blue, because that does look pretty cool with the seat stitching there. Actually, you know what, maybe a red. I feel like a red would look better. Let's go Torino red. Torino red sounds like it would be pretty cool. For the regular trim color, we're going to go black on that. For the accent color, which does the dials, honestly, frost white looks great. I'm going to keep that, just leave it alone. For the skirts, we can add side pillar vents here. We can also add them in carbon or the secondary color as well. We have the scoops as well that we can add on. I'm not a big fan of them though. I think we're just going to leave them alone. Doesn't look that great in my opinion. For the wing of the car, we can add the primary wing, the secondary wing, or the carbon wing, of course. We got the track wing, the drift wing, the street SPL wing, the race wing, the extreme performance wing, and the Autobahn racer wing. I really wish there's a better looking wing, but we're just gonna have to go for, I think, the primary wing. It's the only one that kind of looks okay, so we'll do that. For the splitter, we can actually remove it entirely. We can also add the primary chin splitter, or spoiler, I guess, actually, or the race spoiler as well. I think we'll just go for the primary chin spoiler. I do like it on the car, so we'll keep that. The sun strip, we can of course add it. I don't mind the Dominator in red, actually. That looks kind of good, I think, so let's go ahead and do that. For the suspension, we gotta slam this thing right down at the ground to get the best handling out of it. Race transmission, gotta upgrade it to have that. Turbo tuning, gotta add that as well. For the wheels, I want to probably, what do we want to do here? Do we want to go low profile on these? That is the question, actually. I could definitely get away with it on the Dominator GTT. I've never done a low profile rim build on this thing. I feel like, honestly, it wouldn't look terrible. What if we go to the high-end wheels and we go to the Cheetah RRs? These look really, really good, actually. You know what? I'm going to go low profile on this car. I typically wouldn't do that, but I think that this car can kind of look good with it. So we'll go black for the wheel color. We will add the bulletproof tires onto this thing. We will tint the windows all the way out as well. And that's pretty much it for the customization, guys. Let's take this thing outside. We're going to do a sound test on the car and then a full review. And I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on this vehicle. All right, here we are outside. Let's take a listen. The Dominator GTT actually sounds really, really good. I do like the sound on this thing. It sounds pretty unique. I mean, it's not unique definitely to the Dominator GTT, but I can't think of many cars that share the same sound effect. There's definitely a few, but I just can't name them off the top of my head. So, you know, it's a pretty good sound for, you know, what the car is. The Dominator GTT, I forgot just how capable this car is as well. This thing handles phenomenally. It actually feels really, really good to drive. So that is a good start to this review for sure. I already knew that the Dominator GTT was a pretty good handling car. It is definitely one of the better handling muscle cars in the game, and as a result of it being one of the better handling muscle cars in the game, it's also one of the fastest muscle cars in the entire game around a circuit. So if you want to race, the Dominator GTT is not the worst car that you can use, that's for sure. I believe this thing is very close to the top 5, if not within the top 5, so it's pretty up there as far as circuit racing in the muscle car category goes. This thing is definitely a pretty capable vehicle. Now, I have gone for the low profile rims on this thing, and I honestly feel like that has negatively affected the handling ability of the car a little tiny bit. If you didn't know, the different wheels actually do kind of affect how the car handles. I feel like if I had gone with muscle wheels or maybe tuner wheels, the car would have maybe handled slightly better. So this is kind of my fault. With that being said, it still handles extremely well. The acceleration is also very good. It's better than I remember, actually. So that is kind of a pleasant surprise. And I know that the top speed on the Dominator GTT is actually semi-decent. All the Tuners DLC cars had pretty good top speeds, especially with low grip tires, but even without low grip tires, they all had pretty respectable top speeds, and the Dominator GTT is no exception to that. This thing is really good. It's got lots of customization, obviously, as you guys saw. It sounds pretty good. The handling is pretty great as well. You can go pretty quick around these corners, as you guys can see I'm doing right here, and you know, the car is actually handling it very well. It doesn't really understeer, it doesn't really oversteer. It's just a really well balanced car in my opinion. I really like how this thing handles. Could it be a little bit better? Yeah, but not much, honestly. There's really not much that I would change. Maybe have a bit sharper steering. It does almost feel like it's understeering a tiny bit, but I don't really think that it is. So there's really nothing I'd change about this car. I think that it's pretty fantastic in every way, and definitely while this thing is on sale, guys, it is a car that I would recommend picking up. You can of course use this in the Tuners DLC races as well, so this can actually be a pretty solid car to win you some of the prize ride vehicles within the LS car meet if you're interested. This thing, I mean, it's not going to outperform the Emperor Vector, it's not going to outperform the Calico, especially in a straight line, but in pretty much every other metric, I feel like this thing can keep up and can kind of hold its own against some of those other cars. So, you know, it's a pretty good vehicle. While it's on discount this week, I would say pick it up if you got some extra space lying around and you got some money for this thing. Don't be afraid to buy it. It is a really good car, that is for sure. When this thing's on regular price, honestly, it's still a really great car. I can't say that I don't recommend it because it still does handle really nicely. The acceleration's good and the top speed is still good. So at regular price or on discount, the Dominator GTT is definitely worth picking up. So I'd say definitely look into the Dominator GTT if you're at all interested. If anything that I've said in this review sounds promising to you, I'd say go ahead and pick this thing up. Anyway guys, that is pretty much it for the customization and review on the Vapid Dominator GTT in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.